All right, hey Clarinet people, this is Mr. Lean, and we're going to go over how to assemble our clarinet mouthpiece. Okay, so we got the parts of our mouthpiece here. You got your reed, the mouthpiece. Here's our reed case or our reed guard that we got my reed out of. Here's our mouthpiece cap, and then here are two different kinds of ligatures I'm going to show you how to use today. Okay, so I'm going to look at the mouthpiece first real quick, just to kind of give you a couple pieces. So when we're looking kind of at this flat part right here, you can even see the light shining right off that whole flat part. And it's flat all the way up until this part. This is called the tip of the mouthpiece. So the flat part goes all the way up, and then there's this opening right here that you'll end up covering up with the reed. And then there's the tip. So the flat part and the tip, those are the big deals. Okay, then we're going to look at our reed. There's two sides to the reed. You've got this side that's curvy right here, and it's kind of shiny. And then you have this really dull side. There's no shine, and it is flat. If you look at that, it's just flat. And it's got the strength number on there and the brand number, or excuse me, the brand name of your reed. Okay? And then you look all the way at the top here. This is the tip of the reed. So you have the tip of the reed. You got this curvy part of the reed, this flat part of the reed, and then that's got the label on there. Okay, so now we're going to look at ligatures. I have two different kinds of ligatures. They're both metal, but one of them is normal, one of them is inverted, and I'll show you the difference. What they do have in common, though, is if you look at this ligature, you can tell how this side has a smaller opening than this side, because it's a little taller there than it, or excuse me, it's shorter here and it's taller right here. So that's a much wider opening right there. Like you can even look, when you look at it that way, you could see how this part is much more narrow. And you'd be able to tell the same on this one as well. There's a wider opening and a more narrow opening. Okay? And so what you want to do is you'll take your mouthpiece. I'm holding it in my left hand, so that's what I suggest you do. I'm going to hold it to where this flat part and the opening are facing toward me, so I'm looking straight at it when I look down. Okay? Then, whichever ligature I use, okay, I'm going to take the bigger end, which is this end right here, and that's what goes on first. Now, when you put on a ligature, the screws will lay flat like this way, and the screw head will always be on the right side. So on this one, the screws actually sit on the flat part. But when I use this ligature, okay, actually this one works the same, so I lied. They're the exact same. But there are some where the screw goes on this side, but then that screw would actually end up coming over here. So some of you might have that one, okay? And it actually, I've got a picture of it right here. It looks like this. And so you see how the screw would be on the right side as you put it on your mouthpiece, okay? So what we'll do is we'll have our ligature. We've put it on our mouthpiece. And we've got our reed. And you'll take the flat side of the reed, okay, the flat side of your reed. It's going to go on the flat side of the mouthpiece. But you're going to have to put it in between the ligature and the mouthpiece. So it just lays there flat like that. I'm going to hold the bottom with my thumb so I can move around the top with my other two fingers right here. Okay, so I'm going to roll that around just like that till we get a pretty good, there we are on the tip. And then I'm going to pull that down. There should be you can see a little line on your mouthpiece. That ligature should go past the line on the mouthpiece and past the line and the curve on the reed. I've got the tip of the reed and the mouthpiece lined up with each other. Oops. You might have to readjust it a couple times, that's okay. And then down here, I've got the reed centered down there. And then I'm just going to tighten that screw till it's snug. And that's it, y'all. Nothing terribly difficult, okay? I think the hardest part is making sure that the ligature goes on the right way and that the reed flat part is against the flat part of the mouthpiece. So when you take it apart, you just go the opposite way. You're going to unscrew the ligature, lift it up a little bit, press the reed out, okay? And we're going to lay that down. And when you put this in here, the flat part of the reed goes against the flat part of the reed guard, and you just slide the tip in that way. And that's it. All right. And then if you've got your mouthpiece cap, you just go ahead and slide that over. And what it does is it helps protect your mouthpiece from damage. Okay. So that's how you put together your mouthpiece.